It's just gone midday Central African time. This is the SABC News channel coming to you live from UNISA's main campus in Pretoria as we continue with our special rolling coverage around day 2 of the National Convention, which has been underway for a couple of hours now. So far, we've heard from a number of representatives who are part of what's been dubbed the Dialogue Labs here at the UNISA's main campus. These are essentially the breakaway sessions for the different thematic discussions that took place yesterday, where representatives across a number of sectors unpacked what they reckon it will take to get South Africans around the table, so to speak, so as we can finally have this much talked about national dialogue. The Deputy President, in his capacity as the acting president, is in the room, and we've heard from a number of these representatives. But if you're trying to place what you reckon the main takeaway is from today, it's around the steering committee, this interim body that is meant to allow us to leave here feeling like there are attainable goals moving forward. Remember, this convention is not the dialogue itself, but is meant to chart a way forward for the dialogue to take place. And it's taken place under a cloud of controversy, some people might say. Of course, so much being said about the withdrawal of several organizations, including those legacy foundations, as well as political parties part of the Government of National Unity. But the presidency has been adamant that the show will go on, and it certainly has. And in fact, what's been taking place over the past couple of moments is some of those feedback sessions that are happening inside that main plenary room. As we do that, by the way, if you've just joined us, we've also been keeping a very close eye on developments coming out of Marikana, the small town in the northwest that very few people had heard about until 12 years ago, when 34 mine workers were gunned down as cameras were rolling. They were part of a strike calling for a living wage at Lonman's mines, and since then so much has been said about the living conditions of people in that forgotten community. The main commemorative event, led by AMCU, is meant to have started right now at 12 o'clock, but I imagine there's still a few delays. The official keynote address said to be delivered by Joseph Matunja, the president of AMCU, an organization, by the way, that since launched the Labour Party that tried to interdict this very gathering here. So there's always ways to draw connections to what we're seeing taking place in various parts of the country as we take stock of what the way forward may look like. So as soon as there's any movement for you at the Northwest, we'll certainly take you there live. But to kick off our broadcast here for this hour, as we continue with our observations, for lack of a better term, and as I say that, there are those live visuals for you in Marikana, where a number of people have started arriving in the lead up to this commemorative event. As mentioned, we were told that the official program was going to start at 12 o'clock, but that hasn't happened yet. But what we've heard so far, I'm afraid, is nothing new to what we've heard in the past decade or so, since that tragic event really, I suppose, even shaped the discourse around how police respond to protests. Many people living in that community feel very little has changed, including this call for some kind of monument to be built at the particular kopi that you're seeing now, the infamous kopi, where so many meetings have taken place. And in fact, this is the site where some of those who've survived that massacre have asked for there to be that monument. As soon as, again, anybody takes to that podium, we'll certainly take you there live. But let's help you kind of place the tone of how things are happening here at the UNISA's main campus here in Pretoria. Pop you over into the main plenary where those feedback sessions are taking place, and then we'll help take stock of what ordinary South Africans have said about this convention. Let's listen in.
Can I kindly call for order? Could I please call for order? Can I please call for order? I would like to recognize His Excellency the Acting President of the Republic of South Africa and continue with the speaker.
Thank you. I would like to repeat again which community I serve. I am working for the intersex community. The intersex community are the people that are born outside of the binary based on their sex characteristics. So it is visible for some intersex people at birth who are born with ambiguous genitalia, who are then forced to pick a binary. Parents are coerced to pick a binary for the children, which is intersex genital mutilation. And the other, there are many issues that intersex people face, and I would like to call on everyone in the room to address and come to me if you would like to include intersex into your programmatic work, because this affects children, this affects teenagers in schools who get bullied because other intersex people start to show that they're intersex at puberty, and that is when your body develops into menstrual cycle and all that other stuff. So some intersex people's bodies develop differently, and then they go through bullying, and then they drop out of school because of the harmful behavior that they
can
experience.
I please cut you off? I've given you more time because of the interruption. I now have a very tough task because the hands in this block have been raised for a very long time. So I'm going to ask for the indulgence of the room to take 4 speakers from this row, as they have really been there since the beginning and been patient with us. If you will allow me as your chair, we will proceed with 4 hands and then we will close this round. Baba, you've been waving at me, I recognize you. Black and gray shirt, yes, thank you. Baba, there at the back, in the middle of the row, I recognize you as the second speaker. Can I have the speaker in the 3rd row from the front with the glasses as the 3rd speaker? And then can I please have the speaker in front here with the beanie as the 4th speaker? I recognize, of course, that there are many of you who would like to speak. We will have to try and figure out a modality for another round. Okay, can I please start with the first speaker?
Thank you very much.
Can you please give me 1 second? I'm just trying to check what the issue is.
My colleague here at SAPO has raised his hand for a very long time. So you took 2 speakers from there, and then again you took the 2nd round, and then you are here. And then he has been raising his hand for a very long time. Please accommodate him.
I appreciate the issue that is being raised by the speaker. I did recognize him in the previous round, and I'm aware that his hand has been up. In order to keep order in the room, I have to follow the sequence of the room. So please allow me a few more minutes and I will come back to you. Please go ahead.
Thank you, family, and greetings, Angelo. Thank you for the amazing job you're doing. And I wish I could have spoken in my own language, but it was taken away 400 years ago. But let me continue with the Western. I greet and acknowledge each and every one in this room, even those who are not here. Thank you, and my deepest condolences to the Bishop's family. My name is Marshall Nelson. I'm a founder of Youth Media Movement. I work in the education space. I work nationally with young people in aviation, drone, STEM, and safety awareness, and I've engaged extensively with communities across provinces. I fully appreciate the importance of sectorial representation of the steering committee, and it brings depth and expertise. I would like to propose that we also include, it was mentioned, but I just want to highlight it again, provincial representatives. The value of this is, while sectors reflect thematic priorities, provinces reflect geographic and contextual realities. The same sector often faces very different challenges, like in Limpopo compared to where I'm from, Western Cape. Including provincial voices would ensure our dialogue outcomes are grounded in live realities, and it also strengthen the link between national decisions and local implementation. This isn't about replacing or diluting sectoral voices, but complementing them with provincial perspectives so that together we build a process that is both representative and practical. I love you all. Thank you.
I recognize the speaker in the middle of the row at the back.
Ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. Thank you, sir. My name is Sihlemieni. I am a South African citizen, ordinary South African citizen. I believe that we are having this conversation because of the nomination of the steering committee. And I truly believe that we cannot have a committee that is based on sectoral basis. People who should be in a committee should be able to represent everyone. And the terms of reference, I'm not sure about the committee, but I truly believe that it is about steering the dialogue itself and not represent a certain sector. I myself, all the sectors that were there affect me one way or the other. I truly believe that we should be representing, looking at the logistics. Every province, if not every district, if not every municipality, to be represented so that it would be easy to facilitate this dialogue as per wards, as per district, and everything else. And during this dialogue, that is when we are going to have all the sectors represented. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, dear fellow South Africans. My name is Dion Klutter. I work in the research community and think tank community. I represent
My apologies, Dion, if you could please hold the mic closer.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dion Klutter. I represent the research and think tank community, specifically the South African Institute of International Affairs, as well as Stellenbosch University. My questions relate to the word that we keep on hearing throughout this whole process. How was the process designed? How was it constituted? Although we see that the pre-national dialogue community has been formed, how was it formed? How was it selected? And how can we make sure that as we move along, we actually contribute to this process in a clear, concise, and transparent manner to increase the opportunity for everybody in South Africa to better understand how the process will unfold. Then also, there has been a rather, although I don't mind the eminent persons group, what I think is that could have also been more participatory in the way it was constructed, and that all South Africans could have had the opportunity to have a say in how that process unfolded. Moving forward, we have the opportunity to, rather than a forced process leading to the roadmap, we gave feedback yesterday on the modalities and the process design. Was that process feedback taken on, and in what ways can we still have the opportunity to kindly have serious input in the research process, design and methodologies going forward, so that each and every
Dion,
South
I'm going to
African
cut
can
you
be
off.
heard. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I please have the final speaker in that block?
Ndiyabulela Mqhubi Mahashi. My name is Lutando Mtlane from the Northwest, from the district ibizwa Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, from the municipality ubizwa ndiyeva kuthi andiphakame, but a re dira di-rules mole, no one spoke about gore eme, but it's fine ke tla ema. No, it's fine. It's fine. From the JB Max municipality. Please, you can call me comrade because of, I understand the comrade is a community, a friend. So you are my friend. You can call me a comrade. We are having an issue. I'm having I'm an usher, and then it's a problem for me because of I'm a delegate in this dialogue. So we sonke from the JB Max CPUA into Bizwa and usher, and then secondly, I would like to applaud this community. You must not tell us about the love letter you were given about the acting president. I think it is over. And then I would like to thank the person who advised into comrade to it. He must come back because for us, it is over. Not everyone lives at districtini or opila nationally or opila regionally. We are all from the local municipality. Now, I'm saying these things because I've heard a lot of speakers saying, this thing cannot be from bottom or up or njanjani, but so sonke, we are from the local municipalities and we are here as delegates. So, to wrap up, bendicela ukuthi if ever we are going for nomination as a delegate or as a interim committee, can we please go for by province? We are from which province, and then the geographical spread now.
I think you are.
Thank you.
Thank you. I now have a very difficult task. It's that when I look at the time, we had allocated 2 hours, and it took us 2 hours to hear the speakers across the room. But I equally recognize that there are many speakers who had their hands up in the first round, and so I'm just trying to devise a modality that will allow comfort and also participation. So I would just like you to give me a moment to have some water, to chat with my colleagues, and I will come back with a way forward. If we can please just do a 2-minute break.
All right, so that's the situation inside the main plenary room, bringing us to 17 minutes after 12 o'clock. We're continuing with our special broadcast of Week in Review here on the SABC News Channel, taking in day 2 of the National Convention, which is currently underway. If you've just joined us, what's taking place now is the feedback session from the different dialogue labs that took place yesterday. A number of representatives coming back with their own take on how we should proceed, but the main take home from here is the establishing of a steering committee, which is essentially meant to be this interim body that is going to chart a way forward for us to get us a sense of what happens when we leave here. The steering committee will be responsible in part for devising the next meetings that will take place, developing consensus, setting the strategic priorities of the national dialogue, developing a comprehensive program, and setting up subcommittees if need be. And hopefully once that takes place, we'll get a better sense of the way forward. But you can see on your screen there, at least a short while ago, the Deputy President has been sitting in the front row in his capacity as the acting president. He's been there for hours, I tell you, listening into the feedback from these representatives, as well as a number of persons from the eminent persons group. We're taking a bit of a breather from the main plenary, as you've just heard, to essentially try get a sense of what should happen next. What was meant to happen is that the feedback session was meant to take 2 hours. We are beyond that allocated time, and there are still so many other speakers that are yet to have their voices heard. And you'll appreciate just that delicate dance that all of this is, even for the moderator of the session, who is well aware that so far the big criticism about this step of the process is that not everybody's voice has been heard. And I suppose against that backdrop, the last thing you want to be seen to be doing is suffocating the space by not allowing everybody who wants to contribute to make that contribution. It's an unenviable position because there are only so many hours in a day, and certainly so many hours for this particular program to finally be wrapped up at UNISA's main campus in Pretoria, where day 2 of that national convention is underway. With that said, let's pop you back into the main plenary. That's where those feedback sessions I mentioned a short while ago are still ongoing. Let's listen in.
May I ask for order in the room? I think as Andio would say, may we just have a bit of order in the room? If we call all settled down, no sir, I completely understand your issue. No, we understand your issue and it's been captured. Can we just have some order in the room so that we can have a level of clarity as to how we're going to carry on going forward? No, it does. It does need clarity because there's an order of how things need to happen, and if it breaks down here, it will break down for the rest of the session. And I think everyone has taken great strain to know we understand, and we understand sincerely. Okay, maybe, perhaps can I Okay. Sure. May I? Okay. So can we just recognize what might have happened just now? Because once more, because there's a breakdown in the system, there's a breakdown in the whole conversation. Sincerely, we